Hello colleagues, thank you very much for taking the time to join once again. So we're going to be moving on to the fifth section of one of the fifth key element of what our system does, which is more useful. And that really is this one's really important to me. And again, this really harks back to when I was ahead. And obviously for senior leaders, I don't know how much of this will be relevant to you, but obviously I'll say the examples we came across and why we've built this way. Essentially, any course that you take in the system, if you've obviously subscribed to the system, you get access to all the course materials. They're included in your subscription. But of course, having access to a course material for a qualification that you don't actually get a qualification from doesn't really help. I mean, it's really useful that they get the knowledge, but obviously, people want to feel like they've achieved something, they want to qualify, and they want to get their qualifications, especially if they're starting out in their career and they're looking to get maybe the AET or the HLTA and then move off from there and there and there. So the way our system works is, if you have subscribed, you only pay for qualifications after they have been completed. Now, let's take, for example, probably one of the most common ones we do with schools in the UK, which is the HLTA course. So people are developing onto that, and they move on to that course, they complete the item there, and then what happens is, and I don't really have a video to take you to in this, essentially once they've completed any of the items, let's just say here. So let's say now that I've gone through the HLTA course and I will have completed it all, and I've done all the interactive parts on all the videos, especially the assessment question, which is the most important part, and my mentor is happy with it. What will happen is I will see that all of my nodes here at the front are green. And as you can see at the moment, what will tell me is whether I've partially answered or whether I've just watched the video. It kind of lets me know and track everything that I want to do at any given space or place with a learner. But when everything is green on all the given spaces, so obviously in this case if we're talking about the HLTA, when everything is green, what will be done is I will get a prompt which will come up on my home screen, and it will invite me to complete a specific form, and that form is the notion of completing the qualification. And so obviously I'll put in my name, the email address, and obviously we'll be able to sync up to the system to make sure you have done that. And once you've done it, you will then be able to complete and accredit. So you may have completed for the learning, but then you'll actually be able to accredit everything. And so you can qualify and give them the qualifications at that point, whether it's a professional award like QTS or whether it's a qualification like the AET. Obviously the difference is quite marked in slightly, and obviously the levels and obviously the importance for your future career and what that means for having it, or whatever it may be, or any of the qualifications. But we will then just charge you, instead of saying £500, which is what we normally do for the HLTA, we just charge you the accreditation fee, which is about £160. So if you have a suite of schools or several schools, or you have like 10 people going through the HLTA, rather than paying for 10 people to do it at £500 each, you will only pay, you pay for the system, and then you'll only pay the 160, obviously it changes depending on the board, 160, 165, 180, I'm not 100% sure, depending on the qualification as well. You just pay the accreditation top up, so they can get the learning. They can be of great value and use to your school. You can give them the support that you want to give them as a leader, and then at the end, when you want the qualification, you can do that. And lots of different schools do that in different ways, which I'm happy to discuss on an individual basis. But the important part there for me was, and I'm sure senior leaders may relate to this as well, sometimes you put people on a course, and for one reason or another they can't complete, or it takes them too long, or the time in which they were doing it elapses, or they can no longer get that, or they can't get childcare, or they just change their minds. But whatever happens, because of the way that we normally do is we have to pay for a qualification up front, that money is then wasted. So the way that we have the system, very, I believe, fair, something I would have liked when I was a head teacher, do as much as you want here and now, and then when you are ready, you will only get the extra accreditations, qualifications via a top-up fee, which is obviously always at least half price from what we charge normally, or what an external agency would charge normally. And this is, I think, a very balanced and fair way to be able to develop and hope the system. I hope you agree. Thank you very much.